All right, so it's the day of the test and you are ready to begin a test session. You're going to go and start up your browser, making sure that you've already done that prep work for enabling your browser to have pop-ups appear and so forth, as you were directed in a previous video. And you're going to go to me.portal.airast.org, all right, which is where I am right now. I'm then going to click on Teachers, Test Administrators, and I'm going to select Live Test Administrator Interface. It's going to require that I log in, so I'm going to click Secure Login. I happen to already have my username, which is my SAD75 email address in there, and the password that I created for this account when I did my certification. So I'm going to click Secure Login. Now, because I'm doing this little tutorial prior to the testing window being open, I'm not going to see the actual tests that are available or that will be available to you the day of your testing. So we're going to use a different test for this tutorial. So what I need to do is I need to get a test session going here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a test. I'm going to just select a fixed interim test here, and I'm going to select a grade, and I'm going to select a subject. And then I'm going to select a test. Now remember, students are only going to have access to the test that you select. So be sure that you only check off the one that you plan on doing during that one particular testing session. Once I have my test selected, I'm going to click Start Session. And what will happen is when I have the test session started, I'm going to see up here on the right-hand side the session ID. This session ID, I want to make sure that I write up on the board clearly for all students to see, because students will need 3 pieces of information in order to log into your testing session. They'll need to enter in their first name, their state ID number or MEDMS number, and then this testing session ID, and they need to enter all that information in correctly. If for some reason a student was unable to log in correctly, you could look that information up for them. You could go to the student lookup button and you could select a school and the grade and the student's first and last name and then hit search, and you would be given the student's information for logging into the test, with the exception of the session ID, which you just created and wrote up on the board. Make sure that students have disabled spaces, turned off the automatic iTunes software updates, and have quit out of all other applications before starting the secure browser application. After students have been provided with the necessary login information and have started the secure browser application, they may begin the login process. Now let's look at what the students will see when they view the secure browser login page. They need to log in using their first name as it appears in Tide, their student ID number, and the session ID that you just wrote up on the board. Then they need to click the Sign In button. Once the student logs into the test, the next screen will ask them to review their demographic information. If the information is correct, the students will click the Yes button. If the information is incorrect, they should notify their test administrator so that he or she can contact Jim McLaughlin to see if the student should continue. The next screen the students will see should only show the test that they are eligible to take during this testing session. They should select this test by clicking on it. The students will see a screen telling them to wait for test administrator approval. All student tests must be approved by the test administrator before the students can begin. Now we will return to the test administrator interface. On the right side of the screen, you will see the green Approvals box. It shows which students are waiting for your approval. In this example, 2 students are waiting for approval. If these were your students, you would click the green Approvals button to approve the students. Make sure that the students listed on the screen are the students that are in your testing area or room. Once you have approved the students, they should be listed in the Approvals and Student Test Settings area at the bottom of the screen. From here, you can see their student name, their student ID number, view their test settings, and see which tests they have selected to complete. Check in each student's test and test settings to make sure that they are correct. Ensuring the test settings are correct before the student begins testing is critical to avoid the need for a test reset that may result in additional testing for the student later. When the correct test is selected and the test settings are verified, the test administrator clicks Approve or Approve All Students. Once your students have been approved and begin testing, you will see a list of student names and you will be able to monitor their progress.